Welcome to the podcast mini series, How to Plan Your Wedding in 10 Days. I'm Andy, the founder of The Bridal Journey, and along with me, I've got Georgie from After the Rock, and we're going to guide you through planning your wedding in just 10 days. Invitations are your guest's first glimpse into your wedding. Today, we'll discuss crafting invites that reflect your style and effectively managing guest communication. And Georgie, I actually have a tip on this one.
Yes.
When you send out your invites and people fill in their name, a lot of people forget to actually write their names down
In the RSVP?
in the RSVP. So
Ah.
there's a little trick. You might think, how does anyone forget somebody's name? But it does happen.
Yeah.
Write down the list of people that you're inviting with a little tiny number on the back of each RSVP. So if you get that RSVP back and it says yes, but they forgot to add their name, you know that number
Cute.
correlates
Love it.
to that couple.
I love it. But
Got
really, are
told
we
that many
doing
years ago. I thought it was a great tip.
it's such a good tip, but we're not seeing many postal invites anymore.
No, so they're all online?
Not all, but yeah, like a lot, particularly the RSVP.
Oh, yes, the
Yes.
RSVP, of course,
Yeah.
but invitation-wise?
Mm.
So, what do you recommend website-wise people use if they are sending digital invites?
Well, look, I guess starting from the beginning. So when it comes to invites, you want to start thinking about what parts of the invitation suite that you want to be including for your wedding. So obviously, to start off with, there's a save the date. So as soon as you've booked in your venue and your date, it's great to get something to all your guests
And when should we send this?
as soon as you've booked your venue.
Oh, so
So
like 12 months
12
out
months
is
out,
fine? Okay.
amazing. Like 6 months out, also amazing. If it's an international wedding, then obviously the more time, the better. But pretty, when you're ready to go, send it, unless you're holding off because you're still writing your guest list, which we do find a lot of our clients will kind of hold out until 6 to even 3 months before the wedding because they're kind of trying to work out exactly who is going to make the list. And then we find that after you've sent the save the date, also when you've sent the save the date, you probably haven't mastered like the styling and the theme that you're wanting. So a digital save the date's a good idea. You can track something like a paperless post. You can actually track who's opened it and who's actually accepted it. You can put an RSVP on there if you need to as well, which is more done now than it ever has been. People are actually putting an RSVP on the save the date. Normally you save that for the invitation, but a lot of people are doing that. So send your save the date, and then, like I said, it's probably easier to do it digitally because then you can collate all of the postal addresses that way. It's really easy for people just to add in their address online. And then for the invitation, it's these days we're finding that it's quite rare that you do more than a couple of pieces to the suite. So sometimes there's a main invitation plus an info card. Back in the day, we had like 6 pieces in there. There was information about everything, but now it's very common that we put a website and basically have all the information on the website so people can have a look there.
Okay, great. And what kind of things are we including?
On the invitation, we are,
Both, yeah.
yeah, who, what, when, where, why. Like you want to know
What
that,
to wear?
yep, yep, absolutely. Dress code, information on a registry if you're going to have a registry. So what sort of gifts you're going to want your guests to kind of be giving you. You also want information on any annex events as well. So if you've got a welcome drinks or a recovery, you're going to have that all in there as well. If you want to, you can literally just have the main details of the wedding with a website, and on the website it can have all of this extra information too. You really want to be planning uh, your invites like quite far in advance if you're going to have them printed, because of print times can be anywhere from 4 to 6 to 8 to 12 weeks, depending on how many treatments you do to it as well.
And how best do people manage their guest list? So you've sent it out. Are you sending over the amount of guests that you want because you're assuming that like maybe 10% are going to decline? Or how do you manage inviting extra people when you haven't heard back from some people? How does it all work?
So we find most of our look, we encourage that our guests only send invites to the people that they can fit in the space. So if there's 120 capacity, we really encourage them only to send 120. People love a wedding. You'll just be surprised by who will actually come. That would be my preference. Risk adverse, I'd love that. We find majority of people are sending probably about 10% over. I do think that's risky. I really do. I do think it's good to potentially have a B list if that's what you want to do, And with that B list, you just make the RSVP, you send them nice and early and you ask for the RSVP early as well. And again, the save the date is a really good opportunity for you to send it out and actually ask for an indication of whether they can come or not so that when you get to printing, you actually can get the right number. And just when you do printing too, if you're doing calligraphy or you're wanting, like any sort of handwritten element, remember to always add on an extra sort of 10% as well for that as well, because you'll need them for mistakes and things like that.
And any trends for stationery? What looks
Definitely
beautiful?
a lot online at the moment. Like we're finding that the websites are really stunning at the moment and people are really putting a lot of effort and like giving people a lot of information about restaurants and things like that that they can go to in the area and making it like a real destination, the website. Um, I love print invites. I'm obsessed. I love anything fully customized. I'm really like nerdy about stocks and thickness and hand done envelopes. We just did the most stunning invites for a wedding that is about to happen that are just all the treatments. I think it's one of those ones that if you know, like you'd pick that up and go, whoa, this is like a custom cut ornate invitation. Like it's a really interesting shape. And on the front, it's blind embossed. And then it's got beautiful hand calligraphy on the front of it, like so stand out. And then the invite has got like gold features on it. It's got like, it's just, there are so many treatments, die cutting, like the thickness of it, like even in between, like where you fuse the invite together, like in between, there's a different color to what's on the outside. Just these little touches that like I geek out on, and so did that client, which is great. But I do think the invite is a sneak peek to your wedding. Make an effort with it. It doesn't have to be printed if you can't afford it, but you know, or if it's just not one of your priorities. But I do think that the invite is a sneak peek to the wedding and it gets people really excited.
And is if for someone that's not geeking out on invites
Yes.
that may need a little bit of extra help, is there any really good little go-to combination of you know, how you said there's like different paper widths and all that kind of thing that
Yeah.
someone could just go with? What would you recommend?
Look, I think talk to your printer, like talk to your graphic designer, or to be honest, go on something like Paperless Post, have a look at all the different designs. There are so many designs. Go to the bridal journey, go to like amazing Instagram pages of designers that you like and get influence from there because some people will like the thickness of it. Doesn't matter. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I think like a 350 GSM, like beautiful, like I could tell you like those kind of things. But at the end of the day, go and see the printer, feel the stock. But again, if it's not a priority, don't lose sleep over it. Talk to your designer, talk to your printer, or get it through something like, go somewhere like Paperless Post and use that platform to print your invites.
And I think like a lot what I'm seeing on the bridal journey and what we touched on before in our styling episode
Mm.
was that personalization. I think a lot of people are getting the calligraphers or graphic artists or designers to sketch something meaningful about the couple,
Sure.
like make it really
Yeah.
like the wedding venue in Italy, whatever's like sketched on the invite in the middle with like a map on the back of how the wedding's going to run and flow, just making it really individualized and personalized and people take notice of it's not just any other invite.
Exactly.
Okay, that's great. So stay flexible, assign someone to handle your guest updates so you can focus on the other details.
I mean, that would be so lovely to have someone because the admin around that
Planner.
is not much fun. So yes, that would be amazing.
Okay, so our next episode is final preparations.